Hit the join button on YouTube if you'd be interested in that. Great way to support. Again, just $2 US a month. And thank everybody that's become a member. Mystic Sanctuary to start the game for Force of Phil Blackman, and a Brainstorm for me off Underground Sea. Robert says, I'm needing someone with lands to move to New York and play weekly. Please, thank you. So we did have 1 or 2 lands players at this event that we're watching right now. I guess they ended up in the loser's bracket for this one, but I think we'll see some lands on upcoming streams for sure. Malevolent Hermit got countered there. Malevolent? I can't pronounce that word. I don't know why.
Yeah, yes. That hunts.
Oh, no, yeah. Here's my graveyard. I'll get to see if I pick anything from there.
Doomsday, huh? Do I have anything I can stop?
There's Volcanic Island. Tundra, Volcanic Island, Mystic Sanctuary, the lands in play for Force of Phil. Here's another Hermit. I'm going to give up on trying to pronounce that first word, malevolent, whatever. I just cannot for some reason. Here's Baleful Strix. Hey, I did not get a turn 2 Strix this game. Just kidding, I did. Actually, no, that wasn't turn 2, was it? I missed a land drop or something. Icy, thanks for the follow. Welcome.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, Force of Phil has been running the Hermit in Legacy control decks recently, and has continued to, so appears to like it a lot. Here's a Hermit coming out of the graveyard, which I don't remember what the back creature is called off the top of my head, but the disturbed creature is now in play. Yeah, lots of altars from Force of Phil for sure. Malevolent? I don't know. There's a Tundra got fetched there.
Yeah, this is not a good matchup. Sure you don't want to switch to lands?
Yes. Is lands that much better for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is
Benevolent Geist is the thank you whoever brought that up.
Lands against outposts, I found to be certainly game 1 pretty good.
it's favorable against me. I won games against. I mean, yeah, it's definitely favorable. This, on the other hand, is like this one's almost impossible.
Fortunately, this deck loses to itself quite a bit. So, comment? What? Do foot shorts have a converted mana cost of their front side? They do. That's what I thought. Push. Thank you.
Yeah, this.
Malik.
Is this a cast or an ability?
Cast.
Oh.
I like to play stuff on the side.
Pause my train of thought there for a second, thinking, oops, did I mess up? But it is a cast from the graveyard because I was planning to counter it on the way back out. So all is working here. Trying to get these Hermits and Geists off the board. Goes into exile after it becomes a Geist, doesn't go back to the graveyard. Because of the disturb mechanic, that's how it works. And another disturb is getting disturbed Geist is getting forced pitching Baleful Strix. Cracking Scalding Tarn and Teferi Time Raveler, also altered. Double checking life totals. Mystic Sanctuary for Force of Fill. Putting a Ponder on top. Plus on Teferi. Don't want to put it in a spot where these Strixes can kill it.
Like a month and a half ago, I played the Murktide Malevolent Hermit version of this, like the mid-range thing.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to learn the other version,
Like the main one, yeah.
the all-in version.
Well, I boarded out the chasms and the mazes, so if you have the Murktide version, I'd be pretty tilted.
Cyborg Murktides, I'm all about it.
Narset gets forced pitching Brainstorm. Plussing Teferi and passing.
Or you win. Could be it.
Cards now?
Either way.
3. Okay.
This is like,
Make 3 angels?
it's a good hand, but I don't know if it really.
Making 3 angels with Entreat the Angels off an instant speed Ponder here. So we're going to see some blockers come down.
I need to declare first, right? Whatever. I'm just gonna play.
Blocks the 2 Strixes. And oops. Jace. Of course, bouncing the Angel and passing the turn. So the Angels have been dealt with, but my ways to attack Teferi have also been dealt with. At least for now. Force of Fill casting a Ponder here. I can't respond to anything at this point. Can't remember if I said this round, but if you'd be interested in my deck list, it's posted in the Discord. You can go find it there. Links are down below for the Discord if you haven't already joined. Fill Teferi, bouncing nothing. Draw a card, Mystic Sanctuary, put Entreat the Angels back on top. Pretty good. So Entreat the Angels is back on top of the library.
I guess I go up to 22.
2 cards now?
I don't.
3 cards.
Pithing Needle?
Fetch. Response.
I could tell by my body language I'm not loving my options here.
Yeah. Narcissus on the stack. Actually, I guess I'll float and stack and draw. Yeah.
This Brainstorm is going to lead to an Entreat. There it is. Resolving the Brainstorm first before choosing whether to cast it. And of course it will be cast to create 3 angels. Narset looks like it resolves, and I'm minusing.
Was it Misty?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hidetsugu?
Yep.
Hidetsugu pretty good against these angels. Don't have the mana for it currently, though. We'll see. I can't remember right now. I can't remember if I made a land drop this turn. If I still had an eligible land drop, but it seems that I have no land to be able to cast it this turn. Otherwise, that would have been great. Anyone not familiar, Hidetsugu consumes all. First chapter is destroy all non-lands, mana value 1 or less. Jace, bounce an angel. YNO, thanks for the follow. Sudden Edict takes out an angel. The Entreat Angels do not have vigilance. Prismatic Ending on Narset. That should be an exile. There it goes. And Jace attacked. Jace down.
Chance it. Go. Yep.
End step preordained from Force of Fill to Fairy, allowing for that. Prismatic Ending takes out the Hidetsugu.
Cancel one right.
It's on stack.
Okay.
Preordained in response to another Hidetsugu consumes all.
That works. What's the? It doesn't have flashback, right? That's deep analysis I'm thinking of.
Correct.
And a ponder shuffle happening here. This is all in response to the saga. Looks like Phil drew an Entreat the Angels there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a force in there though.
I still have it. There's still going to be a trigger on.
Yes, Jace.
Yeah, requiring me to discard 3 cards.
At your end step,
Yeah. So we need to remember that.
unless there is no end step.
Force of Phil now with the Jace.
I played that for turn, yes. I
I'm
think I
gonna
played that
put
fetch.
Ideas
Yeah, I
Unknown
think so,
in
yeah.
my stack,
Sure.
so you get to see that.
Good.
I have not played a land this turn. We're on turn 4. I've played 2. This is how I played the Dark Ritual.
Sure.
Okay.
There's the Entreat the Angels that we knew about. Makes 5 angels. On Force of Phil's draw step.
Cards? One?
One, yeah.
I'm gonna crack this.
Cresswell, thanks for the follow.
Yeah. You got. Okay. Yeah, this is the plan.
All right, Force of Phil up a game here.
Some goblins plays 3
Oh,
badlands.
sorcery speed. That's how it's different from mystical tutor. Right?
I don't. But
Okay.
other people. Why it's not banned?
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you
this-
think? I'm rich. I got 3 badlands. Yeah. Look at
Yeah,
you.
this actually, I like playing it, but yeah, Doomsday's a
Okay.
Doomsday's a tough one. But they're over quick, so I can.
And you have good matchups against all the other stuff.
Mystic Sanctuary pass for Force of Phil. Veridil, thanks for the sub with Prime. Thank you, thank you. Preordain. Followed up by Tundra.
because I'm playing 3, two main deck draws that can't be milled out.
That plan does nothing against
Okay.
Yeah,
Dual
it's not the
yep.
best plan. So.
He must have some sort of graveyard hate to try.
Triple fetch. And there's Hidetsugu consumes all.
Control stuff.
Yeah, there was very few combos.
Why?
I'll respond.
Andrew Avery.
Probably play a little over. Flip back and forth.
All right. Teferi gets protected by force pitching force after I force a negation pitching Fluster Storm. And Hidetsugu gets bounced.
Yeah, it's the really nice part about Doomsday games are quick.
One way or another. I mean, I got absolutely stomped on camera by Sam a couple weeks ago.
I'll name human.
Turns out when you bolt yourself for 9 as your main game.
Naming human with Plague Engineer. I think most optimal type to name here would have been Wizard. But I could not think of in the moment what the Hermit's creature types were, but I knew it was a human, so I just named human. I was like, is it a monk? Like a shaman? I couldn't think of it. So I know you could just like ask a judge or something, but whatever. I figured I'll keep name human.
Which is
Yes.
not ideal. Except packing the
Actually, no, it's okay. Some of them are looking nice. Some of them don't.
Point being, I should have named wizard there, but I named human.
as I can. And this is not the most turbo version.
Me too. I really wanted that.
There's a
one.
more. How'd you like
I really wanted that one.
Well, if we're playing for fun, I don't feel these guys.
But I'm also like, I don't want to give lots of
Yeah.
I also know that Force of Fill sometimes runs out monastery mentors, so I know the tokens are not humans, but the mentor is a human.
Okay. I'm gonna keep. And I'm gonna. What's my time?
Sure.
Swing for 6.
Attack the turn.
You cannot fetch, too. If you run
Transponder. Yep.
I'm gonna play it. Name
I
it.
literally thought I was
And
SOL.
yeah.
That's real good.
It's like Jace was drawn there off the ponder.
It's 2 away, so. Could have found some creature.
Equinox with a great question. How good is Hidetsugu in matchups like this where the graveyard doesn't really matter and you only hit tokens with the first chapter? I mean, it's okay. Hidetsugu Consumes All is at its best. Its biggest moments for me so far have been against Delver and Saga decks. Resolving a Hidetsugu Consumes all your servos, your retrofitter, your opals, all that crap is gone, is really powerful. And then exiling the graveyard afterwards is just even better. Against decks like Delver. Phil does run like 3 copies of Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, Phil loves that card.
Yeah, when I said this was a good matchup, definitely meant better than Doomsday. But he only has 4 wastelands.
And no ghost quarters anymore. It's fallen out of favor.
Okay, Phil casting the Hermit there. It dies immediately to Plague Engineer. So now I'm asking, what's the other side? It's Spirit Wizard. And it's at that moment where I'm like, although the other side is a 2/2, the disturbed creature, the Geist, I'm thinking I should have named Wizard. Oh well.
I don't think
I don't have any acceleration.
Pretty strong.
Yeah, you'll never have that.
All right, so now I put Force of Phil on a spot where he has to resolve the Geist this turn, or disturb the Geist this turn. Otherwise, it's going to get exiled, and it's getting Power Blasted. What is so greedy, Equinox? Force of Phil says, I like Hermit in that it is a 2-drop, but I don't think it's at its best in the build I had. Okay. It's good, but there are probably stronger plays at 2.
Catch Chase.
Crop rot. That was me.
Red Blast on Jace on the stack.
Where's that? Last turn.
Okay.
You got
Force pitching Ponder to protect Jace.
Go ahead.
Upkeep fetch for Force of Phil. Mystic Sanctuary, put Red Blast on top. And I realize my mistake here. I'm kicking myself for firing off that Force because Force of Phil has a fetch land. And right now I'm realizing my error. That was a bad play. The Force of Will was just wrong, in my opinion, looking back on it now. I should have seen that he could just put the Red Blast back on top. Jace was doomed.
Or something real nice, but at 7 it was a little bit tougher. Yeah, I like the snow.
Do you not have a split of snow in regular?
Especially
No, there's no. I can't think of a reason. I mean, I guess the only psych people out if I play turn 1 Windswept and grab.
Do you not have?
With a fetch land open, that Force of Will on my side should have been saved for non-instants, non-sorceries. Prismatic Ending, getting hard cast Force in response. So Hidetsugu plays the Mystic Sanctuary from hand, puts Prismatic back on top. Attacking for 5, putting Force of Phil down to 6. Trigger on Hidetsugu, gets a counter. And Ponder trying to find protection for this Hidetsugu. And I found it. And doing the math, game is over. Island Ponder for Phil. Yeah, most of Phil's deck is altered. Fetching with Bloodstained Mire. Ponder.
What happens if?
Nothing. It just doesn't. It comes into play. It doesn't copy the land that says this. So I realized it the second you did that, but that's all. Okay, so I get
Still sack fodder for the reclaimer.
wasn't a smart play.
Go ahead. Oh, no, you knew I had that, so
my reason
had to work through at some point.
Yeah, but still the loam. So I am.
made this free for you.
Yep.
That was a terrible.
Well, yeah, I boarded out.
Okay.
So this is like, I've seen some with this, some not.
I
It
draw.
depends, right? Some play like,
There's a Hermit again. There's Strix.
After you were like, I don't really want to talk about it. Like, all right.
Next week.
I got it. I didn't have next Monday. I got 12 packs of hot.
yeah.
I don't.
Thank you so much.
Play Urza Saga.
Did I give you a sleep?
Yeah.
I was going to give you back.
He did.
I don't.
And Pepsi.
Mine I always get like the nacho
No, I
Sack.
was talking through the sideboard.
That was really brutal for me.
Sack that blank.
I needed a 4th mana.
Sometimes it will do that.
It being,
That's-
I should have just gotten Cloud Post. I just, my thought was like he's gonna waste me out of Cloud Post and not go first with the suit. But then I immediately realized he just blow up what I
But there's ways to just
copy.
let me do my
Powerful wizard over here.
It's
Untap.
late.
This deck is very susceptible to this.
I'm gonna deflect
I'm
the
gonna port the call post.
Not deflect.
Sure.
Deflect. That is still less.
Okay, the bolt on the hermit there. I'm trying to think what else was in my hand. Don't know. Looks like I have a Force of Will in hand.
Very
Or this.
Probably. Yeah.
When we just started this past
What does it say? It says return
Tuesday,
free.
Saturday.
You have a pitch.
We do a sealed deck, sealed box,
Return.
Okay. That's the prize pool? Is this
No, you-
Hydroblast on my Pyroblast, targeting Teferi, who's on the stack.
Oh no.
but you
Oh, yeah.
you bring a hard box.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty good, but
Which you know.
Oh, okay.
Teferi ends up being countered. The Hermit is still in the yard, able to disturb it and make a Geist. So that's something to watch out for. Here's Hidetsugu, putting the Geist now on a 1-turn clock.
I know, right?
Other pods where you can just play
Yeah, it's barely even.
for the sealed community.
Like one random draft.
All right, the Geist resolves. Passing the turn. Now all graveyards will be exiled, so Mystic Sanctuaries have to be done now. A fetch for Mystic Sanctuary. Let's see what Force of Fill chooses to put on top. Options are Hydroblast and... Okay, so it's Hydroblast. Hydroblast goes back on top before the Hidetsugu Chapter 2 resolves.
Attack 127. I look at 27
Yeah, like,
cards.
I just basically I'm boarding
I was
like
trying to dig the music now.
Name wizard.
If I drew it, if I hit
And
it, I
then
was
for
rolling.
my turn.
All right, this time I named Wizard, so I guess I remembered the second time.
Yeah, it was in the bottom. So I looked at like 50 plus cards.
Yeah.
It was in the bottom of the deck.
Jace the Mind Sculptor resolves for Force of Fill. The Geist is now a 1/1. Non-creature spells on Force of Fill's side can't be countered. So even if I had a counter, I can't use it. Sloppy 3-card pull. Hydroblast on Hidetsugu, yep.
And it's just like, because it's a limited format, right? So I just kill everybody's creatures. And then I
That's
won.
weird. It has one too, right?
You make 3 copies of things and you attack
One
it.
Saturday and
Look at this.
It's like, it was being passed around. Like,
I mean, I can
nobody
only
knows
do,
how to
like,
go around it. So
what I
I
can do.
guess I'll just chance it.
yeah.
Might as well.
260.
I also got I got a jewel bonus. I just sold it.
Yeah.
I'll do as much grabbing as I can though.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay for gas.
I can't believe how much that card is.
Appreciate it. You like the games, man.
I
Good
sold
to see
it
ya.
for like 60. I don't know how
Good
much.
night.
You're like, that's a good price to sell it at.
This is,
Yeah, they're like 100 or
You
something.
can feel this one slipping away.
well, I mean, I sold it last year, so I feel like.
Yeah, it's just, but it hasn't dropped, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's only going up. Even if it's only 3
Practice.
Rob Alexander.
Are you gonna report?
Yeah.
It's like pretty off.
We had that, right?
Yep.
Huh?
We had that.
Yeah, no, I got it from him.
And pass to you.
This is
Looks like a Force of Negation in hand for me there.
Nobody comes to Pauper.
You just heard in the background. Nobody comes to Pauper. It's true. Nobody comes. Sorry, Pauper people.
Like I didn't see myself really. You kept getting out basics. Like I'm not getting ahead there.
They tried to get Pauper off the ground at the shop, but nobody was coming. Teferi.
Two cards just doesn't without exploration.
Level 15, I got
Don't tell me.
It's really.
I can't know.
It's
I never used it. I own one.
That's a joke. Play that regular basis for it?
Alright, thanks, guys.
All right, Teferi resolves. Protected by Power Blast. Rockheart, thanks for the follow. Welcome. Savior with a good question, wondering if there's any access to deck lists if I'm subbed to the Twitch channel. So normally I post my deck list in the VIP chat in our Discord. And you should have access to that if you're a sub. Deck lists of other players. Unfortunately, logistically, it's just not possible for me to get every deck list from everybody at these weekly events. But a lot of the players are in the Discord. If you have a specific deck list you're looking for, I'm sure if you post, it's likely someone will respond. So keep that in mind. All right, Teferi Plus is here. Thanks for being a sub, by the way. Thank you to all of our subs.
Helmet?
Yep. Huh?
What's the red black commander called again?
Florian
Florian, yeah.
from Midnight.
Finish off Jace.
Yeah,
2 to Furry.
But it was nuts. My deck, I ended up opening. So just black, right? Yeah. I was able to play 11 or 12 rares.
Allowing Teferi to live one more turn. Disturb on the Geist, who's still a 1/1 because of the Plague Engineer. Power Blast on a Strix.
I got the Fireball creature thing.
Check the card.
No, it's rare.
This?
Yeah.
I just got a ton of things that
Connor? Yep.
Yeah, no. In those colors, like there's a ton of bombs.
Yeah.
You get is the Living Gold orange now or the other?
That's in the next. That's in the other set. I'm either gonna do that one.
Later.
Yep.
I'm either gonna do that one or
Sedgemoor Witch comes down. And here's Entreat the Angels. X is 4.
Yep.
Round to the second backwards.
Yeah.
It's one of those two.
We're around here, we yeah.
Treat the Angels fresh off the top with lethal on the board for Force of Fill.
One black and 3. During your upkeep, drain everybody for 1.
Oh, okay.
Then I can pay 6 to drain one person.
This is game 3, right?
Yeah.
Is it the mythic one?
No, it's coming.
It's a con.
Hold on.
Hold that.
What am I thinking of? There's like, what's that, like that super constant mythic enchantment?
Oh yeah, that's in that. I think that's in that set too. But
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of talking about.
That's like, it's almost like
It's like not
4 Angels on the other side of the board.
that.
Captive.
Captive audience.
Captive audience.
But there's also like the black red thing. There's another black
Oh,
red
take the
enchantment that basically is a personal hallway life.
Oh, shit.
So
There's some pretty disturbing imagery for the
All in protecting Teferi here. Triple blocking the Witch. Single blocking the Sedgemoor, the Plague Engineer. Scalding Tarn pass. So no longer lethal damage on the battlefield for Phil.
Nice. That's what you gotta do. You just gotta go big and do one first.
YOLO it. Had a fun and epic third game against Chris that shows up on
Fun. Yeah. Yeah. A lot.
Well, it's had like either Hellbender had like one card and like, Doomsday already resolved. I had to decide whether to YOLO the Prophet's Oracle or not.
Yeah. And you did it?
I didn't.
That's awesome.
If you had drawn any kind of removal or loss.
Got it. Good game.
It's
Force of Phil gets there, everybody.
but it's